Hey everyone! Today I'm going to share something that's been my secret weapon for productivity, my Notion custom daily dashboard. I remember when I stumbled upon Notion, I was instantly hooked. I loved everything about productivity. I downloaded so many templates that were for free and I researched on Notion creators, etc. And I always thought that there was something missing. So I tailored one for myself to suit my own needs. And after tweaking and refining for the past 2 years, I think I have perfected it. And the best part, I'm giving it to you for free so that you can streamline your daily tasks, goals, and plans for the week, month, and day. So here's the daily dashboard. Let me quickly walk you through it. On the top, we have the routines. I've divided into 4 sections, which is morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And I've also added some prompts just to get you started. And then we have 3 main sections, which is the daily, weekly, and the monthly. Let's go through all of them. So for the daily section on the left hand side, we have task management. I usually don't want to think and treat it like a to-do list sometimes. So I just dump in my to-dos date-wise, general, a brain dump where I basically put in links that I want to refer to later and I don't want to read now. I have a small reset dashboard, which I'll show you later. A small notes area where I put in my thoughts, any ideas I get, meetings, and a small notebook. So you can basically write anything you want in this notebook and treat it like your journal as well. In the mid section, I have an AI generator button. Do be careful because you have only few prompts with the free AI version and a blank space, which is amazing because I always think better when there's a small empty canvas and I can just jot down stuff and ideate here. On the right hand side, I have some widgets from Indify, the clock and the life progress bar, which is extremely useful, and the weather button. I have included information blocks in the bottom as to how you can go about and navigate everything in case you have any doubts. You can just click on them and check it. And once you're thorough, feel free to just delete it. Let's move on to the second section, which is the weekly. On the right hand side, we have the weekly habit tracker, wherein I try to keep it minimum 3 habits per week and I track them. So you can also customize your goal. For example, I will meditate only 4 days a week, and you can check mark as you go. And here's the progress. I also have a weekly meal plan because I always have this what's for dinner today and what are we going to cook tomorrow, and I get extremely confused. So this weekly meal plan gives me some sort of consistency in what I eat. Then we have a small box for tasks, which is almost similar to the reset dashboard, but I've just added a few here just so that I can have an overview of it. On the left hand side, we have a time slot, extremely useful. I'll get to that with an example. You can also customize this, as in you can add time slots which you wish, and you can move them around as well. Now let's move on to the week at a glance. This is my most used section. I normally write all the tasks which are of high priority and I make sure that they get done, and then I add the extras in here. I also add any meetings or classes that I have to take and I color code them. You can very well use the color code button here, make it purple and make it bold. I'll definitely drop a link as to where you can find all these tips and tricks. Now, moving on to the month at a glance, I have a calendar here. Unfortunately, it's not linked to the Google Calendar. I still use the Google Calendar because it has all my schedules, but this calendar is also useful to generally get an overview. On the left hand side, I have birthdays that are coming up this month and certain events that I have to attend, and the dates go in here. For example, I'll just add 31st as Halloween, and there you go. That's how you use it. On the bottom, I have all the months jotted down. I wanted everything to be in a single page. Usually, creators make weekly, daily, and monthly pages in a home page, which I don't really prefer. I like having to see all my daily things in one page so that I can prioritize and know what's coming up in the next month and shift things accordingly. Now that we've come to the end of the planner, I'll just show you how I use it with an example. In October, I'll add like Inktober art prompts. Um, and I have moving day coming up, and I have Halloween party, and work-wise, I need to get a YouTube video done. Now, since I know what work I have listed for October and what sort of events I have to attend to, I move on to the week at a glance and try to space it out here. So, for example, Halloween is something that I don't need to work on. Um, YouTube video is a priority, and then I go back down. Moving day is not a priority. Inktober art prompt is something I have to start right away, so that goes here. Plan for Inktober, draw 3 drawings, and there you go. This is how I basically plan the week. And if I have any events, I'll add that as well. For example, Sneha's birthday. Now I'll move on to the time slot, which I also use on a daily basis. Suppose I have planned for Inktober, assigned for Monday, and I've woken up late. So I go here and I be like, gym at 11 o'clock, and I need to have lunch, which is already written. It's a muffin. And probably take a nap. Do priority task 1, and I have an art class to take. And then I need to probably sleep by 10 p.m. So I need to do my routine check, which is basically this section, and specifically the night section. I'll also add prep meals for tomorrow. So there you go. You got an overall view as to how I use the planner in terms of time slots, habits, how I check things off, and how I manage the whole thing. Like I said earlier, I'll show you the reset board. Here I have just things that you can use for resetting your month, week, or day. I have just a few prompts. Feel free to delete them and add your own. For the people who prefer a dark mode version as compared to the light one, I also have one thing prepared for you guys. It's the same thing customized to work in the dark mode. You just go to settings, my settings, change it from light to dark, and there you go. We have the dark mode version as well. Everything is in red and greens, and all the information is here too. Feel free to download whichever you prefer. I genuinely believe this dashboard can be a game changer for you. And since it's free, why not try it? And if you're new to Notion, I've got you covered. Check out the links below, which are extremely useful and will probably help a beginner. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Once you've used the dashboard, please drop a comment below. Tell me how it's helped you and if there are any improvements that have to be made. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.